Welcome back to part 2 of Shadowed Sirens, 10 Tales of Deadly Beauty and Madness. In this episode, we take you even deeper into the abyss of terror and insanity. From the painter of red to the altar of flames, these 5 stories will show the fates of women consumed by their own dark obsessions. Let us guide you further into the shadows. A string of mysterious deaths among men was occurring at a nightclub. After a night of fun, these men would suddenly fall ill, writhing in agony before dying hours later. With no visible wounds and no apparent cause, the police were left puzzled. The culprit was a stunning woman who frequented the club. She used a specially prepared poison, concealed in her lipstick, to carry out her deadly plan. She would seduce her chosen targets with sweet words, then deliver a poisonous kiss that sealed their fate. Unaware of the danger, the men fell under her spell, unknowingly marked for death. Poison spread slowly through their bodies, bringing unbearable pain hours later. And from a distance, she would watch them suffer, deriving a twisted pleasure from their agony. Behind her beautiful face lay a heart of ice, undetectable to anyone. Her victims from the deadly kisses continued to grow, and each night, the nightclub welcomed her next unsuspecting prey. A series of mysterious drownings among marine researchers was baffling the authorities. These men disappeared while conducting studies at sea, only to be found later washed ashore in disturbing conditions. Their bodies were covered in eerie shells and tangled seaweed, bearing evidence of a gruesome end. As investigations continued, a chilling connection emerged. Each of these researchers had encountered a mysterious woman at sea. She would appear on the water's surface with an alluring beauty and a cold, piercing gaze that mesmerized them. Drawn in by her silent call, they were helpless to resist, as if controlled, and were lured into the depths of the ocean. This woman was a vengeful spirit, a ghost who had dwelled in the deep, filled with loneliness and resentment. She sought revenge on those who betrayed her, dragging them into the dark abyss. Her wrath knew no end, and one by one, marine researchers became her sacrifices, disappearing into the ocean's depths.
Certain female archaeologists Harvard a dark, twisted collection, hidden away in her basement. Known for her beauty and intelligence, she was respected by her peers, but inside, she held an abnormal obsession, obtaining perfect bones to preserve as her eternal collection. The men who worked alongside her on excavation projects were drawn to her charm and knowledge, never suspecting her true intentions. But as night fell, she would strike, one by one, harvesting their bones. She meticulously polished each piece and stored them in her basement, where the remains were arranged like specimens, creating a macabre display. As she gazed upon her collection, admiring the perfect beauty of each bone, a satisfied smile crept onto her face. But her obsession was far from over. Each time a new excavation team arrived, a fresh desire for a new specimen surged within her. Her relentless pursuit of the perfect collection continuing without end.
In a certain town, a series of mysterious deaths among men left authorities puzzled. The bodies were found with parts partially dissolved, bearing traces of chemical burns. Police struggled to understand who could carry out such acts, or by what means. Yet the number of victims continued to rise. The perpetrator was an unassuming pharmacist, a woman who carefully planned her crimes while maintaining a facade of normalcy. She would discreetly slip a sedative into the drinks of her targeted men, putting them to sleep before secretly bringing them to her home. Her method of execution involved slowly dissolving parts of their bodies with chemicals, inflicting unimaginable terror upon them. She took satisfaction in watching their expressions as fear overtook them, and afterward meticulously erased any evidence. Her calm, expressionless demeanor concealed the horrifying truth, allowing her executions to continue unnoticed, quietly, one after another. Eva, a devoted member of a religious cult, was revered as the one who hears the voice of God. Her charismatic demeanor and unwavering faith drew followers to her cause, but behind her saintly facade lay a horrifying ritual. She believed that by offering young men as divine sacrifices on a fiery altar, she could purify the world and fulfill God's will. The chosen men, captivated by her persuasive words and charm, willingly accepted their roles in the ceremony, believing they were destined for something greater. Eva bestowed upon them the title of the chosen, filling them with hope until the very end. But at the moment of prayer before the altar, her gaze turned cold as she pushed them into the flames. The charred remains of her victims left no trace, and Eva continued her relentless search for new sacrifices by recruiting more followers. Her fanatical rituals persisted without pause, the dark reality of her cult growing ever more sinister. To outsiders, the group appeared to be a noble religious organization, but its true nature was a hellish inferno fueled by madness and fire. Thank you for watching Part 2. From the painter of red to the altar of flames, how did you find these chilling tales of madness and beauty? If you enjoyed the world of shadowed sirens, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll take you on another terrifying journey next time. Good night, and beware the darkness.